Good morning. Today we'll be looking at managing inventory and non-inventory expenses using Trackeet. Okay, so our objective today is to understand how to make our purchases. Number two, to understand how to pay for those purchases for our inventory items. Thirdly, how to make additional expenses and how our cost of goods sold are calculated, which is also an expense. Okay, so just relax and journey with me as we move forward. So the first thing I would like to do is to make purchases for our inventory items. Okay, so is my overview. I'll come down here to where we have purchases. I'll click on this plus sign. Now it brings me to the purchase invoice. All right, so here I will insert my vendor warehouse, the warehouse I want the item to go to. Now, is this a paid invoice? If I leave this way, it means this invoice is unpaid. That means the invoice will be on draft. Probably we are here to pay for the items we're purchasing. Okay, and when I click or check that circle, it means the invoice is paid for. Okay, note just to give a brief description of probably what and what you bought and just a brief description about this purchase. And then here we can come to our items. So let's say I want to buy bottled water, Fanta, and Coke. Buying these three items, and I'm purchasing 50 each, 50 quantity each. All right, and this is my amount I'm paying, 19,000. So I'm using cash to pay 19,000. And see that the change is 0, and then I create my purchase. All right, I've successfully created my purchase. Now this is an expense, so it means it's money leaving the company. All right, when we come down to our overview here, this is the purchase we do. You can see it's money out. It's money leaving the organization. That is why it's a purchase. That's why it's an expense rather. Okay, let me try to create another purchase. A vendor, finished goods, and I'm buying potato chips. Buying 50 quantities. Transfer palm. For this, which will cost me 20,000. Then I create my purchase. All right. So this is another purchase I just made for my inventory item. Now to make expense, another expense, I would like to use another expense, which is the add new expenses, which is can also be referred to as the non-expenses for non-inventory item. I'll click on this add new expense. This expense has its own peculiarities. Okay, they have its own expense account or expense head. Okay, like for instance, you want to pay for office rent, you want to pay for telephone, like your subscription, you want to pay for different things. Okay, so let me say I want to make example. I'm paying my rent fee of 200,000. I'm paying with cash. Expense account, okay, or expense head, you can see administrative expense, commission on sales, salary. All right, telephone expense, and I'm doing office expense. Okay, office rent. I want to pay for my office rent. All right, rent for 2023. And then I save my expense. Okay, continue to dashboard. Okay, I make another expense again, additional expense for non-inventory item. Let's say 100,000, and for this it's for salary. Okay, salary for April 2023. It is just to give description. Okay, then I save expenses. Continue to dashboard. Okay, now these are the two different modes or two different expenses. But I would like to show us the cost of goods sold. Okay. Now this cost of goods sold is also an expense. Okay, is the cost, is the cost of the goods you sell. Okay, for instance, now you have, okay, let me make a sale. Let me quickly make a sale so that as I'm explaining, we have a clear understanding of what I'm saying. Okay, now I'm going to make a sale. It's Uncle White. It's a paid item. Now I'm choosing bottled water and I'm buying 10. Remember, I purchased 50. Okay, all right. So it's going to calculate the cost price times this quantity I am selling. That will give us the cost of goods sold. Okay, so what it costs to sell these 10 quantities of bottled water is our cost of goods sold. All right, we'll see how it affects our accounting when I go to the report, our accounting report. Okay, so I'll just create this invoice sent. Okay, so I'll come back to my overview. Now, the purchase we made earlier came in as purchase invoice. That is purchases or expense for our inventory items. Why that of non-inventory items will come in as a journal entry. Okay, to come in as a journal entry. Now, I want to show us our cost of goods sold. But before then, let me show us how this affects our purchases for the inventory item. It affects our inventory. Okay, remember I bought bottled water, Fanta, and Coke. Okay, bottled water 57 probably means we had 7 initially. Fanta we have 68 now, so we had 18 initially. Coke we had 7, so we have 50 now. So this is the effect on the purchase we made. Okay, now let me show us the cost of goods sold I talked about. I'm going to come to my accounting. Okay, you can see, okay, let me filter. Hopefully I'll get there. Let me say from 10, say from 10:40 a.m. to today. Let me say 11 a.m. and then I apply. Okay, we just okay, yes, okay, so it's showing me transaction I just did now. Okay, now you can see the expenses we made. Very good. These are the 3 expenses we made. Okay, remember we made expense for 300 naira office rent. We did another one, salary of for salary for 100,000. And now look at the cost of goods sold. See what it cost us to sell 10 bottles of Coke, or sorry, bottled water. We sold that for 1,000. So, and then it cost us 800. That means our profit for that sale was 200 naira. I don't know if we understand. Okay, so that is that. These are the 3 different ways Trackeet helps us to manage both our inventory items and non-inventory items, as well as our cost of goods sold. Okay, thank you very much. I want to believe we understand and we've learned how to make purchases, how to pay for our purchases, how to make and create other expenses, and how our cost of goods sold are being calculated. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you again in the next video section. Do have a wonderful day. I remain my humble self, Manchiko Solomon. Bye for now.